Have you ever wondered why some men lose their strength almost overnight, while others the same age still wake up with energy, confidence, and drive that feels unstoppable? I've seen this countless times in my clinic, and what always breaks my heart is how many of them think it's just age. They assume their body is slowing down, their hormones are fading, and that nothing can be done. But that's not the truth. The real reason many men lose their vitality has nothing to do with birthdays and everything to do with silent choices they make every single day. Choices so small they seem harmless, like the handful of nuts they eat while watching TV or the so-called healthy snacks they grab on the go. Most don't realize that some of those very foods can quietly choke blood flow dull sensitivity and drain testosterone until desire and performance fade without warning. I've seen the look in their eyes when they tell me they feel less like themselves. And I've also seen the hope come back the spark when they change just one simple thing, because what steals your power can also give it back. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the exact difference, the 5 nuts that recharge your blood flow hormones and energy, and the 2 common ones that quietly destroy it. And the last one, it's the snack most men eat almost every day without realizing it's slowly stealing their strength. When I first tell my patients that something as simple as a walnut can change their circulation, most of them laugh. But after a few weeks, they stop laughing because their energy, their drive, and even their morning confidence begin to come back. And it's not magic, it's pure biology. You see, inside every walnut is a perfect combination of omega-3 fatty acids and an amino acid called arginine. Together, they trigger your body to release nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your arteries to relax and open wide. Think of nitric oxide as the green light for blood flow. Without it, everything slows, pressure builds, and circulation gets jammed like traffic on a Friday evening. But when your body makes enough of it, blood moves freely, oxygen reaches every cell, and performance, yes, even in the most private areas, comes roaring back. In one clinical study published in the Journal of Nutrition, men who added walnuts to their daily routine improved their blood vessel flexibility in just 8 weeks. What that means in plain English is stronger, smoother, more reliable flow. And when blood flows better, every system in a man's body works better, from the heart in his chest to the blood vessels that control his most intimate confidence. I've seen it again and again. A patient named Mark, 64, came to me tired and discouraged. His numbers looked fine, but he told me, I just don't feel alive anymore. We made one small change, a handful of walnuts every morning instead of his usual processed snack. 3 weeks later, he smiled and said, I didn't think food could do this. His blood pressure was lower, his circulation stronger, and that spark in his voice back. Here's why walnuts do what pills often can't. They don't just open arteries, they protect them. Those same omega-3s and polyphenols act like armor against oxidative stress, the rust that stiffens blood vessels over time. By reducing that internal rust, your arteries stay young, flexible, and responsive the way they were decades ago. It's like giving your bloodstream an oil change every single day. And the best part, you don't need a bucketful. Just a small handful, about 1/4 cup, is enough to fuel the chemistry that keeps blood moving and hormones balanced. Sprinkle them over oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them plain. Consistency matters more than quantity. But here's where most men go wrong. They eat the right food inconsistently and expect instant results. Your body doesn't work that way. The transformation happens quietly, meal by meal, day by day. As your arteries start to relax, your nerves wake up, and your energy stops crashing halfway through the day. Now, here's the twist that surprises even doctors. There's another nut that takes the same nitric oxide effect to a whole new level. and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Stay with me because what comes next could be the easiest way to calm stress balance hormones and rebuild stamina without a single pill. After men start adding walnuts, the first thing I notice isn't just stronger circulation, it's the calm that follows. Because once blood begins to move freely, the next battle isn't in the arteries, it's in the hormones. That's where almonds step in. I always tell my patients, you can't have strong performance with a stressed out body. Every time stress spikes, your body floods with cortisol, the silent thief that steals testosterone. And here's the scary part. Most men over 50 live in a constant, low-grade stress state. They wake up anxious, go through the day tense, and by night, their hormones have no chance to recover. That's why I love almonds. These little golden seeds aren't just snacks, they're hormone stabilizers disguised as food. Each handful delivers magnesium, vitamin E, and healthy fats that work together like a control center for your stress response. Magnesium signals your adrenal glands to stand down. It tells cortisol, you're not the boss anymore. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant shield, protecting your blood vessel lining from the oxidative rust that high stress leaves behind. Together, they turn off the alarm system inside your body so your testosterone can finally breathe again. One study from the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine found that men with higher magnesium levels had up to 15% more free testosterone than those deficient in it. That's not placebo, that's chemistry. When cortisol drops, testosterone rises, circulation improves, and energy returns. I've seen it repeatedly in the clinic. A patient named Robert once told me I didn't realize tension could kill desire. We replaced his salty peanuts with a small handful of raw almonds every afternoon. Within 2 weeks, his mood changed first, then his energy followed. By the 4th week, his blood pressure stabilized, and he said something that still makes me smile. I feel steady again. That word, steady, is what true male health feels like. The trick is simplicity. You don't need flavored honey roasted or sugar-coated almonds. Those undo the benefits. Just raw or lightly roasted, unsalted. A small handful a few times a week trains your body to stay balanced even when life throws its punches. And here's the part that surprises many men. The steadier your mood, the stronger your performance. Because when your mind relaxes, your vessels follow. Calm mind, calm flow. Stress tightens everything, including the arteries you rely on for firmness. But don't relax too soon, because the next nut takes everything you've learned about blood flow and stress and pushes it even further. It's backed by a study that changed how I talk to every man over 60 about circulation. And it's not a nut most people think of as powerful until they see what it does to blood flow in just 3 weeks. When I see a man's blood pressure normalize and his energy return after a few weeks on almonds, I know his stress system is finally quieting down. But once that happens, it's time to supercharge his circulation. That's where pistachios come in. These tiny green nuts may look innocent, but they're like opening the floodgates of blood flow. I still remember a patient named Daniel, 59, active, healthy, but struggling silently with poor circulation. His heart was fine, his labs were normal, yet he said, "I feel like the power switch is off." What we discovered changed the way he saw food forever. Pistachios are loaded with arginine, the same amino acid found in walnuts, but in an even more concentrated form. Your body turns arginine into nitric oxide, the natural messenger that tells your arteries to open wide and let blood surge through. In simple terms, no nitric oxide, no flow, but with enough of it, blood doesn't just move, it rushes like a river after a storm. A clinical trial published in the International Journal of Impotence Research followed men who ate pistachios daily for 3 weeks. The results: every measurable marker of circulation improved: blood flow, velocity, arterial flexibility, even erectile function scores. No pills, no gimmicks. Just food doing what nature designed it to do. And here's what's fascinating. Pistachios don't only expand arteries, they clean them. Their antioxidants and phytosterols lower LDL cholesterol, the sticky kind that clogs your vessels over time. Think of pistachios as tiny plumbers working from the inside out, scrubbing away buildup so blood can glide through effortlessly. When Daniel started snacking on a small handful, unsalted, raw, mid-afternoon, instead of chips, his energy didn't just rise, it stabilized. Within 3 weeks, he said something that always sticks with me. I feel circulation again. That's not just physical, that's emotional relief. Because when blood moves, life moves. What I love most about pistachios is how fast the body responds. Arteries are living tissue, feed them right, and they heal. Every handful of pistachios is like a training session for your vascular system, teaching it to stay open, responsive, and strong. But let me give you a quick warning. Don't fall for the bright salt sugar glazed versions sold in convenience stores. They undo the very chemistry you're trying to build. Keep it simple. Natural pistachios, no heavy salt, no coatings. Your heart, brain, and confidence will thank you. Now, if you think this is impressive, wait until you hear about the next nut. It doesn't just enhance blood flow, it rebuilds hormones at the root level. It's the single most powerful source of a mineral most men over 60 are quietly deficient in. And that deficiency alone can drain energy, weaken desire, and even shrink testosterone production overnight. After blood flow improves and stress starts to calm, there's one more system that decides whether a man feels powerful or drained his hormones. You can have open arteries, but without strong testosterone, the spark never fully returns. And that's where Brazil nuts take center stage. I still remember one of my patients, Henry, 71, gentle, disciplined, but exhausted. His blood work didn't show anything alarming, yet his testosterone had quietly dropped below normal. He told me, "I'm doing everything right. Why do I still feel flat?" That single question led me straight to one of the most overlooked nutrients in men's health, selenium. Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium on the planet. Just 1 or 2 a day can meet your entire daily requirement. No pills, no synthetic blends. Selenium acts like the ignition key for testosterone production. It helps the body convert cholesterol into hormones efficiently. Without enough of it, that process slows down and your energy, mood, and drive all begin to fade. Studies published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism confirm it. Low selenium is directly linked to reduced testosterone, higher oxidative stress, and poor sperm health. When we corrected Henry's deficiency, just 2 Brazil nuts a night, no other changes, his levels rebounded within a month. What impressed me most wasn't the lab numbers, it was the way he carried himself again. Shoulders, back, voice firmer, that quiet confidence men start to lose when hormones dip too low. But here's the thing, most people don't realize more is not better. Selenium builds up easily in the body, so 1 or 2 nuts is the sweet spot. Eat more and you risk overloading your system. Eat less and you miss the hormonal spark your body craves. I call it the Goldilocks. Mineral, just enough makes everything run perfectly. Brazil nuts also deliver healthy fats and amino acids that strengthen the testes and prostate, 2 areas that rely heavily on balanced testosterone and antioxidant protection. And because selenium fights oxidative stress, it protects the Leydig cells, the hormone factories inside the testicles, from burning out with age. Think of it like giving your hormonal engine clean oil and a brand new filter the timing matters too. I usually recommend my patients take them in the evening. Why? Because testosterone production peaks overnight. By feeding your body the right nutrients before sleep, you set the stage for stronger morning energy, higher libido, and better recovery. It's subtle at first, but over weeks, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Now, if blood flow is the pathway and hormones are the fuel, the next nut I'll share is like the tuning system that keeps the whole engine balanced. It supports the nerves, calms inflammation, and even helps men shed the hidden weight that steals their vitality. And the best part, most men already love its flavor, they just don't realize what it's doing for their performance. After a few weeks on Brazil nuts, my patients usually notice their energy rising and their confidence returning. But there's still one layer we haven't touched yet, the communication system that connects it all, the nerves. You can have healthy blood flow and balanced hormones, but if your nerve signals are weak or inflamed, the connection between your brain and your body starts to fade. That's where hazelnuts quietly become heroes. These small round nuts may look ordinary, but they're loaded with folate, magnesium, and heart-healthy fats that work like an electrical tune-up for your nervous system. I like to explain it this way. Your nerves are the wires that carry every spark of sensation, every signal of pleasure, every message of desire. Over time, inflammation and oxidative stress start fraying those wires, dulling sensitivity, slowing response, and leaving men wondering why they just don't feel the same anymore. Hazelnuts help rebuild that wiring from the inside out. Folate, also known as vitamin B9, plays a crucial role in producing neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that drive arousal and mood. Low folate levels are directly linked to fatigue and poor nerve response. When I have my patients raise their folate intake naturally through hazelnuts, I often see something remarkable. Not only do they regain sharper physical sensitivity, but their mood stabilizes too. One of my patients, George, 67, told me, "It's not just that I have more energy, I feel present again." Magnesium, the mineral partner inside hazelnuts, complements that effect beautifully. It calms the nervous system, lowers cortisol, and frees testosterone to do its job. Think of magnesium as the peacekeeper in your body, quietly shutting down the stress loop that keeps your hormones on edge. And because stress can literally constrict your blood vessels, every moment of calm adds up to stronger circulation and better endurance where it matters most. Here's a fascinating point. Most men overlook hazelnuts are deeply satisfying without being heavy. That means you stay full, your blood sugar remains steady, and you avoid the energy crashes that kill motivation and desire. Weight control is hormonal control. And every pound of excess fat around the belly suppresses testosterone. When men swap processed snacks for a small handful of hazelnuts, they're not just reducing calories, they're restoring hormonal freedom. A 2020 review in the Journal of Food Science and Nutrition found that regular nut consumption, especially hazelnuts, significantly improved endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to expand and contract efficiently. In other words, it helps your circulation behave like it did 20 years ago. That's why I often call hazelnuts the calm strength food. They quietly rebuild balance from the inside, less stress, sharper nerves, better flow, and steady energy. Now, while these 5 nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and hazelnuts can dramatically transform male vitality, there's something every man needs to hear next. Because just as some foods rebuild your energy, others quietly destroy it. And what shocks most of my patients is that 2 of those danger nuts are the ones they eat almost every single day. One of them might even be in your kitchen right now. When I tell men that one of the most common healthy snacks in America is quietly killing their circulation, most of them look at me like I'm joking, but I'm not. After decades in practice, I've learned that what you eat the most often is usually what hurts you the most. And peanuts are the perfect example. They're everywhere on bar counters and protein bars, peanut butter sandwiches, even heart-healthy snack packs. But here's the hidden truth. Peanuts aren't actually nuts at all. They're legumes like beans, and they come with baggage your cardiovascular system doesn't need. The first red flag is a toxin called aflatoxin, a mold compound that thrives on stored peanuts, especially when they're processed or roasted in bulk. The World Health Organization lists aflatoxins among the most potent natural toxins known. They don't just harm the liver, they also disrupt hormone regulation by overworking your detox pathways. And when your liver is under pressure, it can't balance testosterone properly. The result, low drive, sluggish energy, and dull motivation that sneaks up over time. The second problem is balance, or rather, the lack of it. Peanuts are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, and while we need a little of them, modern diets already drown in excess. Too much omega-6 creates chronic inflammation, thickens artery walls, and slows blood flow, the exact opposite of what you want for performance. Think of it like pouring sand into your oil tank. The engine might still run, but not for long. I once had a patient named Frank, 62, who swore by his daily peanut butter sandwich. He exercised, drank water, even took supplements, yet his energy kept collapsing by late afternoon. When we swapped the peanut butter for almond spread, his inflammation markers dropped within 6 weeks. He didn't change anything else. That's how powerful small dietary shifts can be. And here's something even more alarming. The majority of commercial peanut products are packed with added salt, hydrogenated oils, and sugar. This triple threat spikes blood pressure, stiffens arteries, and triggers insulin swings that suppress testosterone production. You might think you're getting protein, but what you're really getting is inflammation disguised as a snack. As the irony, a handful once in a while won't destroy you, but daily exposure is like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice the damage until you're stranded, wondering how your strength disappeared. If you're serious about keeping your circulation young, make peanuts the exception, not the routine. Choose real nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios instead. They build your flow. Peanuts block it. And if you think peanuts are bad, the next nut on the list is even trickier. It's creamy, delicious, and marketed as heart healthy. But inside your body, it steals the very minerals that fuel your testosterone and your circulation. Most men have no idea this single snack can undo weeks of progress until their energy crashes and they can't explain why. Right after I warn patients about peanuts, they usually ask, "What about cashews?" They're supposed to be healthy, right? And that's when I have to pause because cashews are sneaky. They look elegant, taste amazing, and show up in every healthy trail mix ad, but beneath that creamy texture is a hidden flaw that can quietly drain a man's vitality from the inside out. Cashews contain something called phytic acid. It's a natural compound plants use to protect their seeds, but inside the human body, it does something far less friendly. It binds to minerals like zinc and magnesium, the two nutrients men need most for testosterone and circulation. When phytic acid locks onto them, your body can't absorb them properly. And without enough zinc, testosterone drops. Without magnesium, blood vessels tighten, stress rises, and fatigue sets in. It's like cutting off the power supply to your body's control center. I had a patient named Thomas, 58, who came in complaining of constant low energy despite clean eating. When I asked what his go-to snack was, he proudly said cashews every afternoon. His blood tests told the rest of the story: low zinc, low magnesium, and elevated blood sugar. After we swapped his cashews for a mix of walnuts and pistachios, his testosterone rose by 12% in 8 weeks. That's not magic, that's mineral recovery. Here's the twist most people never see coming. Cashews also carry a higher carbohydrate load than most nuts. That means frequent snacking can spike blood sugar and trigger insulin surges. And every time insulin rises, testosterone takes a hit. Over time, that roller coaster of sugar and stress doesn't just drain hormones, it adds belly fat, which creates even more estrogen and further suppresses male energy. It's a vicious cycle dressed up as a healthy snack. The solution isn't to banish cashews completely, it's to treat them like dessert. A few here and there won't hurt, but daily handfuls will quietly chip away at your progress. If you truly want steady strength and hormone balance, stick to the power. 5 walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and hazelnuts. They build you up. Cashews break you down. And if you've made it this far, there's one truth I want you to remember. Every bite you take is either feeding your performance or fighting it. The difference between decline and vitality isn't measured in years. It's measured in choices. And your next choice could be the one that brings your confidence back for good. Because coming up next, I'll connect everything you've learned, the good, the bad, and the science into one simple daily habit that helps men over 60 rebuild circulation hormones and stamina naturally. It's where all 7 lessons come together, and it might just be the easiest change you'll ever make. So let's bring it all together. We've talked about the 5 nuts that rebuild your circulation balance, your hormones, and bring energy back into your life. Walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil, nuts, and hazelnuts, and the 2 that quietly work against you, peanuts and cashews. The difference between decline and recovery isn't complicated. It's the daily choices that either open your blood flow or slowly shut it down. I want you to remember this: your body isn't broken, it's waiting for the right fuel. In every small change, every handful of the right food teaches your system to heal again. You don't need to chase pills or quick fixes. You need consistency, patience, and a little bit of self-care each day. Because health, confidence, and masculinity aren't lost with age, they fade when we stop nourishing them. So start small, swap one snack, drink more water, breathe deeper. Your body will notice. And in a few weeks, you'll notice it 2 stronger mornings, calmer energy, and that quiet sense of pride that tells you your power is coming back. If this video helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Save it, share it, and send it to someone who might need a little hope today. Tap the like button if you learned something new, subscribe for more science-based tips on men's health and vitality, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new update. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which of these 7 nuts will you start adding or removing first? I read every comment, and your stories inspire future videos. Thank you for watching. Take care of your health, and remember, your best years don't end with age. They begin when you start caring for yourself again.